Hey there, I'm Mr. Terry, a high school history teacher. I'm also a gamer and I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series. My favorite thing about Assassin's Creed is being able to live through major historical events through the character. And today I saw the reveal trailer for the next upcoming Assassin's Creed game, Mirage. And from the early amount of information I was able to see, the game is set in 9th century Baghdad, which is in the 800s CE or AD. And what I'm going to do today is not go through the story of the main game, but what was going on historically at that time and in that place. Baghdad, also known as the Round City of Baghdad, was built in the 760s CE. The city was built by Al-Mansur, the Caliph of the Abbasid dynasty. The position of Caliph was considered the chief Islamic political and religious leader, and the successor to the Prophet Muhammad. The Abbasid Caliphate was the third caliphate in Islamic history, and before that were the Rashidun and Umayyad caliphates. The caliphate, by the way, is the political religious state comprising the Muslim community and the lands and peoples under its dominion. The final caliphate, by the way, was the Ottoman Empire, which was abolished in 1924 by the newly created Republic of Turkey. Back to the story of Baghdad, though. In the year 750, the Abbasid revolution was successful in overthrowing the Umayyad Caliphate. The Umayyads were an Arab empire ruling over a largely non-Arab population. However, under Umayyad rule, non-Arabs felt they were being ruled as second-class citizens, regardless if they were Muslim or not. This upset many people across the empire, as they believed the Islamic faith does not discriminate between Arab and non-Arab Muslims. This revolution marked the end of the Arab Empire, as it was replaced with a multi-ethnic state, which the new Abbasid Caliphate claimed to represent. The Golden Age of the Abbasid Empire was between 775 and 861, which is right when Assassin's Creed Mirage is said to take place. As I said earlier, the city of Baghdad was founded and completed in the 760s. The Abbasids then moved their capital from Damascus to the new city of Baghdad. Al-Mansur said, "This is indeed the city that I am to found, where I am to live, and where my descendants will reign afterward." And he was right. The city largely served as the capital of the empire all the way until 1258 when it was sieged by the Mongol Empire. Among the many amazing palaces and mosques and buildings in the city, none was more important than the infamous Baghdad House of Wisdom. Also known as the Grand Library of Baghdad, it was the major public academy and intellectual center of the empire. A major purpose of the House of Wisdom was to translate Greek, Chinese, Sanskrit, Persian, and Syriac work into Arabic. Here, they were able to preserve the greatest achievements of the greatest civilizations of the world. This, by the way, will be really important for the future. For example, as Europe moved into the Dark Ages, it was the Abbasids that were preserving the intellectual achievements of the Greeks and Romans, which would later be rediscovered by Europeans, giving birth to the European Renaissance. The house wasn't just for translating purposes, though. The greatest mathematicians, medical researchers, astronomers, engineers, and philosophers in the world gathered here in Baghdad. Tragically, though, the Baghdad House of Wisdom, as well as all libraries in Baghdad, were destroyed by the Mongol Empire in 1258 as a part of one of the bloodiest sieges in world history. Estimates of the casualties of the siege of Baghdad: 50,000 soldiers, but 200,000 to 800,000 civilians, according to Western sources. But Arab sources often say that the civilian casualties may have reached up to 2 million. Anyway, I for one think that Baghdad could be a great urban center for our new character to explore. They can make the city full of life and action, and still stay true to the history of Baghdad at that time. Be sure to follow my gaming channel, Mr. Terry Gaming, for more coverage of the Assassin's Creed series, including my tier list of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. So, what do you think of the upcoming game? Do you like the setting? What future settings would you like to see in the series? I, for one, would love to see a setting of the Aztec Empire at the arrival of the Spanish. Just think of a fully realized Tenochtitlan, capital of the Aztec Empire, to be able to explore. Let me know down in the comments. And with that, Raquiescat Tempache.